How you doing? Long, long time no see. So I'll open up with a statement kind of put together. All right, as we begin the season, I just wanted to reaffirm our commitment to building a smart, tough, passionate, competitive, resilient, and adaptable team. We aim to trust our process, be disciplined, and build a team that can sustain over time. Over the offseason, we've made targeted upgrades to our roster, adding key pieces on both sides of the ball to address our needs and create more dynamic options offensively and defensively. While still in process, we believe these moves combined with our existing talent, veteran leadership, and the development of our young players position us well for the challenges ahead. This season, our goals are clear: improve our consistency, develop our young core, have our vets lead the way, and compete every week with a relentless team-first mindset. We're committed to playing disciplined, physical football and creating a culture of high character and resilience. I have full confidence in our players, coaches, and staff to rise to the occasion. Together, along with ownership empowerment, we aim to build a foundation for long-term success while putting in the work and earning our arrival. With that said, I'll open it up to any questions.
Yesterday, you guys placed 3 guys on injury
Yep.
lists. What's the outlook for Tommy? What's the outlook for Sam? Especially as you guys have this kicking competition. He's the older too.
Yeah, Sam had a minor hamstring. He's trending in a really good direction. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but he's looking in good shape. In terms of Tommy, he's making really good progress. He's actually ahead of schedule. We feel really good at where he's at, and we're excited about his progression.
Will you guys sign a punter to kind of fill the void?
No, I don't think we're gonna sign. I think while he's not out there, we'll just use the jugs machine and go that way.
Outside of those guys, is everybody expected to practice tomorrow?
Yeah. To this point, I think everybody's ready to go. Obviously, things are unexpected and things come out of nowhere, but as of now, we're looking in good shape.
Dan, regarding the defense and Evero returning, what are your expectations for stopping the run this season? And do you have the right personnel to fit the 3-4 alignment?
Yeah, it's hard to win football games when you can't stop the run, and obviously for us, this past offseason, it was an emphasis to build our front, make our front as strong as we can. Obviously, it's always going to be a work in progress. We're always going to look to add, but we're going to be smart in selecting people from the outside. So feel good about it, but long story short, the guys got to put the work in. They all got to come together as a unit, create that continuity, and I think if they create that continuity, we could have a good front.
What's your expectation on Tommy's availability for the start of the regular season?
Yeah, I think that's still to be determined. I think he's trending in a really good direction, but I'm not going to put a timeline on it.
Can you talk about Dave and what do you see different, maybe his approach that's different for this season, last season, what he's learned, what you guys are going to do differently maybe?
Schematically, I'll let him talk about that tomorrow. I would say him as a coach, and me as a GM, we're going to get better every year that we're doing this, and that's the goal. And if we're not trying to get better, we're not trying to learn and evolve, then what are we doing? So I think we both have that mindset. I think that him around the players, he has that contagious energy that we all talked about, but you can kind of see the players starting to take this team over and be the leaders of the team. And I think that's what all the good teams around the NFL, they're player-led teams. And, I think we're trending in that direction.
There's a lot of depth in that wide receiver room. How are you viewing that competition as a GM and in general?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited not just about the receiving core, but other areas as well. It's going to be a really good competition, and that's what we want on this roster. We want to create competition. I think that just brings out the best in everybody. So yeah, I'm just excited to watch it and see how it unfolds.
About Derek Brown, do you have an update on his timeline for return?
He's doing good. He was cleared for all activities. He's looking great. He's feeling great. We're excited to have him back. I mean, he's a huge piece of our defense.
So should we expect no load management or anything?
We're going to be smart with guys. We're not just going to throw them out there and, say, go ahead. We want to be smart. We want to do it the right way and bring him along slowly. But I know him. He's chomping at the bit to get out there and be full speed and be in there every play with his teammates. But we have to be smart.
Dan, you've been very patient with this roster at last year and this year in between, mini camp and training camp. I know you just had a bunch of guys come in for workouts. Do you see any alterations that you can make kind of over the next week or so?
I think it's going to be continuous throughout the season. Like, I think we're always going to look for ways to improve the roster. But sometimes, the answer is right on your own roster, and it's about us developing our players and just continuing to, nail that into the coaches that, we got to develop our young core. And I think that's the way to go. But again, we're always going to be curious and look on the outside, and if we feel like somebody can upgrade us and that's smart, then we'll look into it.
To follow up on that, with corner and safety, you've got some pretty young rooms and you've revamped a lot of the depth. What's your outlook on the younger guys, maybe behind the starters at corner, and then the talent opposite Merrick heading into the summer?
We have a lot of young, talented guys that we're excited about on the roster. I'm just looking for continuous growth on a daily basis. Just see them go out there, see them get better every single day. We're excited about them, but again, they got to put the work in, and I know they're up for that challenge.
Very careful about managing expectations this time last season, and I'm curious, as there is some buzz about this team, how you manage that this season and sort of where you are and if you're on track in terms of where you want to be on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I think timeline-wise, we don't put timelines on things. I think Dave and myself, when we're talking about the team and where we want to go, we just want to get better every single day, bring a mindset every single day, start back at zero every single day. And I think that's the mindset we have to have, myself and Dave as the leadership. But I also think our players need to do that too, and I know that they're already doing that. So, we just gotta earn everything. You can talk all you want, but we gotta go earn it, and it starts out there on the football field tomorrow.
Following up on that, in your statement of team goals, you did not mention playoffs. Is that something that you guys talk about internally, or why did you leave that out?
Yeah, I think, to me, if you're doing the things that I mentioned, things will take care of themselves, whether it's playoffs. I think that you need to not look in that direction. I think that you have to go out there again and work on a daily basis, and you just got to earn it. I think everything that's going to come to us this year is going to have to be earned. And again, it starts out there on the practice field.
Following up on the wide receiver room, prospects like Hudson and George, are they pushing the veterans, and how tough of cuts do you anticipate?
They're young, talented guys. We signed them as UDFAs, and they're guys that we're really excited about. Hey, they're going to create competition on the back end, and they're going to be in the competitive mix in there. And again, it's up to them to go out on a daily basis and earn their stripes, and gain the respect of our veterans out there. So they're already doing that, and I'm looking forward to seeing them out there tomorrow.
And you mentioned it being a player-led team now. Has there been a voice that's spoken up that kind of surprised you, or?
No, I wouldn't. I think we have a lot of veteran leaders on this team. I don't want to point out just one because there's a lot of them. But we do have a lot of veteran guys on this team, and I feel like they're planted in some young position groups as well. They're just going to help with the development of the young guys. And, you know, the young guys look at them for advice, and they look at them for, you know, work ethic and everything they do on a daily basis. So, yeah, our veteran leadership, I think, is pretty good on this team.
Follow up on when I was asking about Dave, do you notice he's more confident in what he's doing right now than maybe last year when there was probably a little anxiety about being a coach? And also, what do you think you learned about him from the decision to bench Bryce last year and how that all worked out?
You know, your first question, like, I don't think he's never not confident. I think he's very confident in his abilities. He's very confident in the abilities of his coaching staff, which I think gives him a lot of support. And then obviously has a lot of confidence in our players, and he loves our players. You know, in terms of the Bryce question, you know, I think, you know, sometimes you have to make hard decisions and in a power position, if you want to say. And, you know, he made a hard decision last year, and, you know, we are where we are now. We're not looking back, and we're moving forward. And we're excited about the future.
There was a unique kind of situation with the second-round picks this year. What did you notice about the negotiations from this year compared to last year? Just having, you know, Houston and Cleveland at the top, kind of guaranteeing those contracts.
You know, I'm really lucky to have Brant. You know, Brant deals with a lot of that stuff. He has a pulse on what's going on around the league and who's going to be signed, so I wasn't worried about it at all throughout the whole process. I knew that eventually it would get done, and yeah, I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah, a year ago, you guys had a good bit of roster turnover, guys coming in and out throughout camp. You claimed 6 guys off waivers at the end of camp. Do you kind of see things as being a little more stable now?
You know, I think, you know, I know what you're getting at with your question. Like, you know, we had to make a lot of moves. Our depth wasn't very good last year, at this time last year. But that doesn't mean this year that, you know, hey, we're stacked, we're ready to roll. Like, we're still going to be aggressive. You know, and aggressiveness doesn't always mean action either. Like, we're going to be aggressive behind the scenes. And I think, you know, some of the things we do behind the scenes maybe that you guys don't even know, like, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to look for any avenue to get better. But just because we don't do it doesn't mean we're not being aggressive.
How are you feeling heading into your second year as GM? And is it anxiousness? Is it excited? And how is maybe that feeling different than last year?
Yeah, I think last year at this time, it's just like the newness of it and like doing the press conferences, doing all those things. Like, you know, definitely feel more settled, excited about the direction that we're headed in, excited about our players, like seeing their enthusiasm out on the field, seeing our coaching staff's enthusiasm out on the field, and just kind of the excitement around the building. It feels like a family around here, and again, I think we're definitely headed in the right direction, but we have to earn everything.
That excitement is because of what Bryce did at the end of last season?
I wouldn't just put it on one player. You know, I think the moves we made in the offseason, players from last year that we're excited about their development, you know, our draft picks this year. I just think it's a culmination of things that we're excited about, and it makes you even more excited when you're out on the field and you see the way they work. These guys just aren't, you know, resting on their laurels, if you want to say. Like, they're out there, they're working, they're into it, they're excited, they want to win, and that makes me excited.
Specific to Bryce, though, have you seen anything different about him this year on the field, the way he carries himself? Do you have more confidence in him now than you did a year ago?
No, I wouldn't say that I have more confidence now than I did last year. I see somebody out there who's having fun. He's really developing into a leader of our team. You know, I think you're going to continue to see him grow as he creates, you know, he creates chemistry with his wideouts. He continues to do that. You know, and he's, you know, I think he's going to potentially take a next step the more he masters this offense and all the little details that Coach Canales wants him to do. So he's doing all the right things. The passion for the game is evident every single day that he's out there. So, yeah, not just him, but everybody. So that's what gets me excited in general.
And continuing on,
We'll do a couple more. Dan, Dave told us that the way Bryce finished last season kind of opened up what he could do in the playbook. Did it open up what you guys could do in terms of putting pieces around him and kind of inform some of those decisions?
Yeah. You know, I think you know when you saw Bryce at the end of the season, obviously it was exciting, but you know that was last season, and you know we're really not looking back at that. We're excited for what's coming ahead. You know, and part of that was the draft and you know, drafting T-Mac, drafting Jimmy Horn, you know, JT Sanders developing in his second year. So I think having those type of weapons around him, I think it definitely brings a different excitement out there.
Dan, Canales mentioned back during OTAs the defensive tackle position. I mean, with getting Derek back and the guys you brought in this offseason, you know, how much opportunity does that create for everybody behind them?
I mean, you know, I think, you know, if those guys can play the way, you know, that we know they can play, and they go out there and they put the work in, you know, on any team, you know, a defensive line that can be disruptive and affect the quarterback and stop the run, it's going to make everybody's job easier. So having Derek back's a huge plus. It's like having a new draft pick or a new free agent out there. So it's going to be great to get him back, but you know, we're excited about the new additions as well, and the younger guys that are going to continue to develop and get better.
What area do you feel like you still need to add some depth to get this roster closer to complete?
I think again, we're always going to explore every area. Whether we do something or not, you know, remains to be seen, but we're just going to look for ways to make our roster better. However that is, I wouldn't really put it at a particular position group, but you know, some of the position groups that you mentioned, like we have young guys that are still young and developing that we're really excited about. You know, we have, you know, obviously intimate knowledge of those guys on a daily basis, and we feel good about them.
All right, thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah. Thanks. See you guys.
Country boy, man, my feet can breathe, let them breathe.
We don't want to smell them breathe.
Listen, these are new socks.
Yeah.
I just took a shower this morning, so my feet don't stink yet.
That's a lot of time between this morning and now.
Beyonce, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, man, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we will start with questions for Rob.
Robert, last season you kicked down the door and you ultimately got that Pro Bowl that you were hoping for. Can you just reflect on that experience, and then what's it going to take for you to repeat that?
So repeat it. We'll probably have to win some games. Hopefully we can do that. Got to play well, play better than I did last year. You know, every year's a different challenge in its own. So a lot of guys that come out of nowhere and get it, or a lot of guys are the same guys that play really well and get it. So, you know, just got to be consistent, play well, help win games. Ultimately, if we win a lot of games and win the games we need to, maybe I don't go there. Go somewhere, you know, a little bigger. So that's kind of the goal.
And what about the experience with school?
The experience was fantastic, man. I really had a really good time there. That's a really good. They do a really good job down there. It's really fun. Very family, you know what I mean? All the family's there, and it's pretty much about celebrating your season, man. It's really what it felt like. It felt like a celebration. You're not doing much of nothing, if I'm being completely honest. You just really just being there. You're showing face, and you're doing what you got to do, obviously, like having fun playing the games, which is great. But it's mostly family time, man. Everybody's family up by the water, hanging out. It's a really good job. They do a really good job with that.
Rob,
what's different
you've
about
got a competition next to you at center. How do you find kind of chemistry with two guys that I mean, you've already worked with both of them, but like throughout the summer, like how do you work on getting that chemistry down?
You know, because I play with both of them, I kind of know the tendencies of both guys. So it is what it is. You know, I don't know. I let those guys compete. I wish both of them the best. You know, at the end of the day, we're trying to win games, and you know, both of those guys know that. They're both capable of playing it on any team in this league. So, yeah, that's that.
Robert, what's different about the vibe this year than when you came here last year?
I think last year was nobody knew, you know what I mean? Including me, I got into a situation here, you know, not really knowing what I was getting into. Didn't know much about Carolina, didn't know much about the Panthers, never really watched them, kept up with them. But then getting into the building, getting into the stadium and playing the game stuff, you see, I don't know, you can feel it, man. It's, this city, speaking for the city, has a lot of hope. They want winners, and you can feel it once it's kind of close. We won 5 games last year, which is not great by any means, but it felt like we were doing something great. You know what I mean? Because it's the city looking for it. So that vibe feels great. The team vibe feels great. I feel like the teams feel that, and we all want to be good, man, no matter what it is. And yeah, that's that.
Well, to that end, Robert, the Panthers are maybe a trendy pick among some folks in the national media to be better than some people think.
Yeah.
How do you manage positive expectations?
No, I don't really pay attention to. I mean, obviously we all see it. If you watch, like I'm a sports center guy, so I watch all that shit. So I keep up with all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, what do you expect? Is 2 before I got here. It was 5 last year. Year before that, I have no idea what it was. Before that, I have no idea what it was. I remember 15 when Cam Newton was here. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what everybody remember. And until that change, that's what you're probably going to get. And that's a fair. You know what I mean? If I sucked or if I did something terrible, you know what I mean, then I would expect that. I would expect people to not root for me or vote for me or have my back, you know what I mean, or push me. But what I can say and what I feel is I'm excited to see if we can surprise a lot of people. That's what I feel.
Having grown up somewhere else, I mean, you mentioned the 2015 season. Was
Yeah.
that the first time like the Panthers kind of got on your radar?
2015. Yeah, I grew up a Patriots fan, man. I grew up a Patriots fan, so I only care about Tom Brady, and that's it. Other than that, I didn't really pay attention. Obviously, I watched the game, but it still didn't have much meaning to me, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah.
What would surprising people look like?
Competing and winning games, man. Well, I think we all know what that means, you know what I mean? Because surprising people meaning, I think, personally, man, I like what I see, you know what I mean? And obviously we got to play some football here these next couple of weeks, and we'll see how that feels and look. And then we'll play other teams, and we'll see how that feels and look. But I think we built the right way, man. I think we're physical. I think we're big. I think we're nasty. We got new skills. We got skills on defense. I think, you know what I mean, new D-line. I don't know. For me personally, I'm not setting an expectation or anything like that. I'm just saying for me personally, I think I like what because I'm a guy that's always back against the wall. Like, I was a 2-star athlete, went to a school, graduated with 18 kids. I like to surprise people because when I walk in the room, they don't know. Like, oh, he went to this. Then I walk up and I show up and they're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I love doing that shit. So hopefully, and I mean that, I get chill speaking on it, hopefully we can do that, man, because I really feel, I like what I feel.
You mentioned how you guys are built. Looking at the O-line, you got all 5 starters back, some key depth pieces as well. From a continuity standpoint, how important is that, going into the second year with the team?
That's awesome, man. I mean, I've never been a part of a room that has retained everybody. Everybody came back. Like, that's the first time I've seen that in my career. So, yeah, it's awesome, man. It just builds, speaks for us, the guys in the room. I mean, they believe in us. We work hard, you know what I mean, and we trust each other. Second year should be fun, man. I mean, first year we're all trying to get our feet wet and just see what we're doing and doing that. But now everybody's been back and we kind of know the system a little bit. It'll be fun.
All those guys back, with all those guys back, how does that help you as you go into training camp? Does that help speed things up?
Yeah, I mean, this is the second year in the system, so I think everybody, besides the rookies, I don't expect that. I never expect, you know what I mean, anything from rookie because I get it, it's hard. But everybody else, man, it's the second year, so we get a feel for it. And second year is always better than the first year, obviously, because you know what's going on. So yeah, everybody's, you know what I mean. I think we'll be ready.
Besides the second year, camp, how often did you guys hang out together, just kind of gel?
Mini camp and say it again.
Besides the team organized activities.
We hung out a couple times in OTAs. We got together a couple times actually, more than a couple in OTAs, so that was good. That 5 weeks, buddy, I was out of here. You know what I mean? I'm sure everybody else was too. I'm not, you know what I mean? I got a little boy and all that kind of stuff. I love these guys, but like we're hanging out, man. We're family, enjoying my time. So yeah, I still did hang out with some guys though. I played basketball with a couple guys and stuff like that. So I'm sure people got together, but all of us, not a chance.
Speaking of second years, Dave Canales' second year. You met him last year, a rookie, didn't know much about him. What are you seeing different in him, his approach, and the way things?
Well, I think he's the guy who he was last year. You know, he's the obviously he got better in certain areas of his life, which I don't particularly know. But what I respect about him, he is who he is. You know what I mean? He's the same guy. He's never changed. You know, even when we were 1-7, 8, whatever it was, and then we won the last couple games and we had more momentum going. He's the same guy. So that's Dave's going to be Dave, and that's what I honestly respect about him because when shit get hard, man, people typically turn to run or start doing different shit. But he's been the same guy, and I respect that. I mean, that's how I think a lot of people want to be in their life.
What did you learn about him from the decision to bench Bryce last year?
I don't know about that. That's above my pay grade. You know, that is crazy. You know, you my guy. That went through this ear and out the other. Like, I don't even know the answer to that. Like, barely even heard it. That's how, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you said. What did you say?
That's a gutsy move to do that, and especially your 2 games into your first year as a head coach. You got to learn something about him. And what did that show you?
Sure, man. My first year was here. I was new too. I was trying to figure out everything myself. I don't know how to answer that one. I don't know how to do that one.
Last question for Rob.
In an ideal season, what does Bryce Young's ideal season look like for you?
Man, I would let that be a Bryce Young deal, you know, because we all have goals. We all have shit that we want to do, and that's his. That's another man. I can't set no expectations on that man. I will say that I'm happy to see his confidence. I'm happy to see him play the way he played because when I walked into the building, I saw that. And, like, I saw how good he was and, like, how he can throw a football and hit anything in his room. So he's talented as hell. So whatever, you know, he want to do, he got the pieces around him to, like, try to help go that. And, you know, if we can do a good job protecting him and everybody else can come in, and it's going to take all 11 of us. So we all play the right way. Bryce will do well. O-line will do well. Panthers do well. Everybody happy. You guys do well. And then, we all living good in Charlotte. And then we will remember this season.
Who got the best jumper in the O-line room?
Jumper?
Is there more post work? I mean, you guys are some big guys.
I know, you know, typically when we go play, we try not to bang because we're the bigger guys. And then, you know, if you start banging, they want to get physical because they want to show they're, you know what I mean, they men. So they want to get physical, and then they roll your ankle, and then you get hurt. And so what I do, I go out there, spot up. I miss a lot, but I make some as well. So is that JT is an absolute freak, can jump, grab the ball 2 hands, bring it back around, and I'm not making this up. And actually, he's like 300 pounds and do all that. Huh?
What's your best move?
My best move, man, I told you I had to spot up. Oh, that's it. I ain't got nothing else, man. I ain't going in there rolling no ankles. I ain't crossing no. I can't even dribble the basketball. So, you know what I mean? Good luck for my son, which he will be Charlotte's #1 player, 17 years. Mark that. Scott Hunt.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Man, I miss y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Good. How y'all doing?
Nick, at any point, kind of during the offseason with all the second-round picks, kind of waiting on contracts, did you get any concern that you wouldn't be here? And as a guy who's kind of said you're very big into your playbook, very big into film, I mean, were you concerned at all about potentially not getting off on the right foot?
No, sir. I mean, since the day I stepped foot in the building, I've just been worried about football. I mean, you know, I can't really control those things, and you know, I let my agents and you know the Panthers, you know, that's between them. All I can do is my best foot forward, and you know, come out here and become a better player.
But was there a sense of relief when it was finally done?
I mean, I knew it was coming. I mean, as long as I stayed in good standing with the team and I did what I had to do, I knew it was coming. So, I guess so. I guess it's kind of just good to just get that out of the way.
Have you stayed in touch with Shamar Stewart at all, and kind of what he's going through, and kind of, you know, he's trying to set a precedent, so to speak?
I mean, Stu's my brother. You know, I love him, but you know, I kind of, like I said, I mean, I'm a rookie too. I got things to focus on, and you know, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for everything he's going through. You know, I bet it's you know, rough handling all that stuff, but you know, I'm kind of just focusing on myself and you know, my career.
I think you're the youngest guy on the roster, or if not, very close to it. Is there a guy that's kind of taking you under his wing to kind of mentor you throughout, not just minicamp and that stuff, but like the off season into today?
Yes, sir. I think like, you know, I can name a bunch of guys who, you know, kind of just, you know, big bro me and mentored me. But 2 guys I really, you know, want to shout out is DJ Wanham and Pat Jones. Like, man, they've helped me out so much, and you know, they have so much knowledge, so much experience, and it's just good and refreshing to be around guys who, you know, even though we're competing against each other, but they just want to see me get better and help the team. So those two especially.
And then AC is a pretty young position coach. He's like 5 years removed from being in the college game. How has he connected with you guys as far as just communication and teaching?
Yeah, I think when you got a young guy who's hungry and who's been in good rooms like he was in LA last year, I think it's just wonderful, and he's super excited to get out there and coach us and mentor us, and it's like a brotherhood, because I mean we're not that far in age, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice that we have like a relationship where I can come to him and talk to him, but it's a respect because he's very serious about what he does, and being young he has to ramp it up, other than being an older coach.
What do you sense about the vibe in the city here? I know you haven't been around it a lot, new to the team, but what have you sensed here? Because they've had a long 7 straight losing seasons. So what do you sense going into this season?
So I stayed here the whole break, just trying to figure out Charlotte, and I love it, man. The city's full of juice and full of love, and I think once we get this back rolling, it's gonna be beautiful. So, I'm excited. I'm just ready to put helmet and pads on and get out there and and get these fans riled up.
What did you figure out about the city while you were here?
Nice museums, amazing food, great trails and walks. I love walking, and it's a lot of things to do, and it's a lot of it's a lot of juice around the city. Like, it's a lot of youth, a lot of people that do things, a lot of things you can go out and do. It's just nice.
Contract stuff aside, when it comes to football, obviously your GM is a very famous linebacker here. What's your conversations with that about Ball?
I haven't had many conversations with Dan about Ball, man. Every time I see him, I just thank him so much, man. I'm just happy to be here, honestly. But going back and watching his tape, man, Dan's a freak. He's a monster, man. I have so much more respect for him because he's been in my position. And like I said, man, I'm just so blessed to be here. I appreciate him.
Play for Evero.
Sir?
What's it like to play for Evero?
Oh, he's fired up as well. Coach E is amazing. Really hard on the details, and he wants everything to be perfect, and that's what you want in DC. And he's fired up, and he has his hands on everybody. So I love playing for Coach E so far from OTAs and things like that.
There's a real SEC vibe in this draft class, and I know that doesn't guarantee anything, but do you think it'll help the transition that so many of you played in what's considered the hands down the best conference in the country?
I don't like to get into the conference too much because, I played in the Big Ten, and I love Purdue. I love the Big Ten. It's great football, but, I mean, it's the SEC. I mean, it's a different level of competition. And I was talking with my buddies, plays with Falcons, Jalen Walker, and we were just talking we played in the SEC. This is like the league. I come out here it ain't nothing. I'm not saying it's not nothing, but I've been prepped well by good coaches and good competition every week, and I played in big stadiums and things like that. So, yes, I would say, but I mean, obviously these are grown men with families and they got money to make. So, I can only be so much.
I was about to say, you were definitely about to be locker room material with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like that. I was just saying
What is better, SEC or Big Ten?
I just love to play football.
As they all have more time together, how has you and Princely's relationship grown? Because obviously you guys, we remember the clip of you guys in the hotel room moving everything around. How's that relationship grown?
It's grown so much. I mean, the more time that you put sweat in with the guy, and then us coming in rookies, the same position group, we kind of put together. I mean, we're just starting to click, and I really respect Princely, and I'm trying to find ways to where me and him can work off each other, and that's just us getting more snaps together during camp and getting better. But it's been great, man, to be around such another high caliber SEC rusher. He was a first team All SEC too as well.
I want to go back to the walks because there's science behind how that can help you think about things differently and stuff. Is that something you use it for? You think about football when you're out there? Or is it totally different? How far are you walking?
When I go on walks? Honestly, I don't know. When I'm sitting in the house, I got my little kitty right there. I just want to get out a little bit, listen to some music, clear my head a little bit. And I don't know. I guess I kind of daydream a little bit. I'm walking around trees. I might hit a little swipe. Just getting out there, just getting active, some little active recovery. But I don't think too much into it.
You have a cat?
I do.
What's your name?
JR. I got a Maine Coon. A Maine Coon, if you know what that is.
Don't.
He's gonna be like 35 pounds. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
A big cat.
How much does he weigh right now?
He's only 15 weeks, so he's I don't know. I haven't weighed him. He got to go back to the vet when he's 6 months, so I'll update y'all on.
What does JR stand for?
JR, Junior, I don't know. I just named him.
Junior, and he's going to weigh that much.
I tried.
Do you have to put him on the Scorton weight plan afterwards?
No, he's going to be healthy. I mean, when you get these cats, you expect them to be big, and that's why I got him for. Because I'm not a big dog person. Like I have a dog, and I have a mini long-haired dachshund. She's very small, but I love cats, and he's a big cat, and he's dope, and he's fun, and he's really friendly. So I love him.
Do you walk those on a leash since it's so big?
I tried, but he's not a big fan of the leash right now. Okay. Nah, he'd sit and roll around.
To this building, obviously you have fall camp in college, but have you talked to the guys that are veterans like Pat and DJ to kind of know what to expect from training camp in the NFL?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, you can get as much information as you want. I mean, but until you're in it, you really don't. So I'm just trying to, come into the camp with a clear head. I'm ready to compete. I'm trying to earn some rep and earn some, some reps out there. So just coming here clear-headed and ready to get to work.
Do you have a personal goal for the season?
Honestly, just get this thing rolling. The team's focused on winning, and that's what we're going to do. Personal goals, that comes along with it.
You were brought in here to pressure the quarterback, something this team didn't do very well last year. What's realistic for you in terms of sacks and for this group as a whole?
I mean, like I said, I can't really gauge, statistics or anything like that. But all I can tell you is we're putting our best foot forward to come out and win some games this year.
A big part of your pre-draft process was how much weight you lost prior to coming here. How is that going? And you essentially said it was just a product of you being more disciplined in your diets and stuff. So just generally, how's that going?
Yeah, so wanted to drop weight because everybody looked at me as a tweener, and I did. And I was light in OTAs, and I liked it. I felt more explosive. So the offseason, I wanted to put on a little bit more pounds. I'm at 265 right now, and I think this is the perfect weight where like the balance where I can pass rush and defend the run and be physical and things like that. So.
Museums, when you were talking about the city, are you a museum guy, or anything that stood out, or?
I personally didn't go to the museum. My parents did, and they sent me all types of pictures. Yeah, no, I didn't go to the museum.
Were you able to live the experience through the pictures?
Yeah, it's beautiful pictures. I'm like, wow, and I think it's free. You can go for free on Wednesdays or something like that. Oh, hey, beautiful pictures. I was a part of it. I'm in the group chat. I was a part of it. Yeah.
We'll get you out. We'll get you out there. Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty.
Name?
Her name's Lily.
Here too?
Lily comes tomorrow. My brother's gonna come and he's gonna be cat sitting and staying in my house while I'm at the hotel.
You said you had 2 dogs though?
No, I just have one. I have Lily and I have my cat.
Cats are huge, man.
You see him?
Too.
No, he's only 14 weeks right now. He's gonna get that. When I got him, he's this big, and now he's this big, and it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Much about Dave Canales. What have you learned about him in a short time?
Just his philosophies on playing hard, getting the ball out, and just his background of where he comes from. He's a young coach, and he's been around the league for a minute, and I just have so much respect for Coach Canales. Like I said, the guys upstairs, man, I'm gonna do whatever I can to repay those guys for drafting me and giving me this opportunity to come showcase my talent. So, much utmost respect for Coach Canales, and I'm super excited to play for him. Oh. I'm sorry. Appreciate y'all.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.